it, have you heard the news? We got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules. Started out from VA and now we on the move from local to global, cause we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. To hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a cold, cold world, but we keeping it hot. With Miss Mike on the mic next to She the Rock. Work over here, still having fun. We say it like it is. Ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, and we getting it done. Shout out to Prevail Girl #1. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. Now educating new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. It ain't about the change. Mind your business. Now wait again, minute. Yeah. Wait again, minute. Wait again, minute. Now wait again, minute. Wait again, with it. We not ticks like we all about to be with it. Now wait again, minute. Wait again, minute. Wait again, minute. Now wait again, minute. Wait again, minute. We not ticks like we all up on the ground with it. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. Today is Thursday, August the 19th, 2021. Our episode tonight is very, very special. And I know the young ladies are not here tonight, which is Miss Go Getter and She the Rock, but they'll be back next week. But nevertheless, we have Pint in the house. Pint on the mic. Yeah. Next to who tonight? Next to Tasha and Lamont, aka Bread. This is our special guest tonight, y'all. We're gonna talk a little bit about interracial couples, and we got a marriage couple with us tonight. So why don't y'all tell us how it all started with y'all?
Do you want to start? Or you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
It all started when we were 14, and I had a party across the street with my friend, and Terrell came. I call him Terrell. He's Bread, but I call him Terrell. So Terrell came with his boys, and he saw me, and he told one of his boys, he said, I'm going to have her one day. I didn't like him. I thought he was ugly. So
she gave me the beeper, man.
I gave him
Not
a beeper
Bread
number.
ugly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He had little teeny cornrows and had on a Hawaiian shirt.
Man, back then, flat. No, don't even do that.
So his brother, I used to work at Food Lion, and his brother used to come, and one day he begged me to talk to Terrell, and I was like, look, I don't know. I don't know, but I never talked to him. And this is a serious part. I was in a relationship for 3 years, and it went bad. And I was crying in the shower one day, and I asked the Lord, I said, who am I going to be with? And the Lord told me somebody from my past. And so I started thinking about all my other past relationships. And then I was sitting up there at the stoplight by Hardee's, and the Lord said, go see Terrell. And so I got with some of his family members, and I said, look, do you know where Terrell is? They're like, yeah, I know where he is. And they took me over to where he was, and we have literally been together ever since.
So he heaven sent.
Yes.
Because you prayed to the God.
Yes.
And asked him.
Yes.
And he stirred you right to him.
He did.
And ever since that day, you've literally been
well,
with this man.
when I walked in, he said, are you still with so-and-so? I said, no. And he was sick that day, but we've been together ever since.
Okay, Terrell, so what's your story? Because we know that it's two different stories out here.
Yeah, it is, man. And the funny thing, the whole story was, we was on pretty much on the street, on the block, chilling, whatever. And my cousin was like, we having a party out there in King's Landing, and they want some guys to come. You were like, okay, yeah, we with it. Yeah, come on, we'll go out there and whatnot. So I walked in the house, I saw this long-haired girl sitting at the table by herself. I was like, oh, who that? He was like, I talked to my cousin. She was like, oh, man, that's Tasha. Oh, yeah? Shucks, all right, I got you. So one of my homeboys standing beside me, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to get that. I don't care what nobody says, I'm going to get that. They're like, man, you don't even know her. I said, man, that don't even matter. Right now, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to try my luck. I sat down and I was trying to, I was throwing game at her. But she played me out and gave me the beeper. I'm like, man, you give me the beeper? What is this? But I took it in a way, and like, I was standing on York Street then, and not just bring up the old stuff, but her friend used to go with my brother, and she used to come around there. I'm like, man, where your friend at, man? Where you? Well, she with her old boyfriend. I was like, man, for real. I ain't worried about a boyfriend, man. I'm asking about her. I ain't asking about him. I don't want to see her. I was like, next thing you come bring her. She was like, I can't make no promises. I said, man, look, man, if you need me to go with you to go get her, I'll go.
Oh, you were persistent.
Yes.
Very.
Yes.
I ain't caring about that. I wanted her. Whoever's in my way, I'm gonna move them. I ain't saying I'm arrogant or cocky like that, but when somebody wants, I go after it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So she came around there, and one of my homeboys standing on the porch. They were like, who's this girl here, man? One of my friends was like, who's this girl here? So he tried to holler at us, but my brother stepping away was like, no, man. That's Bread Girl. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's Bread Girl. That's why I was y'all old podcast. We all would like do homeboys date. You know what I'm saying? The other girl. You know what I'm saying? Date the friend. I'm like, whoa, no. Well, back in my time, now we don't play that. You know what I'm saying? This in our circle, we don't play that because how you gonna rock it out with me, then rock out with the homeboy? Like you gonna call attention between me and him. So So when he saw that, my brother was like, no, leave her alone, man, because that's Bread Girl. So pretty much she was already stamped before she even knew she was stamped. I'm like, that's Bread Girl. No, that's Bread Girl, man. So y'all leave her alone. Like Bread in the house. So I came out. I was shocked. I'm like, yo, what you doing over here? Well, my friend brought me over here. I was like, well, say less than you with me now. So
oh Jesus.
so it's ever since then, you know what I'm saying? Asked about the boyfriend, how they were going on and where they feel, which I ain't really care about that, but I just want to carry on a conversation like, that I'm caring, but the whole time I don't care because I want him out the picture.
Out the picture.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I got to, I'm doing my homework. So I got to act like I care about her relationship with him, but really I don't. But
so now let me ask you this. So what year was this when you guys finally got together?
In 2002 of December. Yes.
Y'all been together.
Well, it actually started in November when I came and found
you. No, that's we had sex that night.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that's actually when y'all.
Yeah, so see, I want to bring that up.
In November is when we became official.
Yeah, but she said when we got together, she didn't say we get together.
I love it. Okay. I love it.
See, you brought that up. See, I ain't gonna bring that up. If Sue be watching, I apologize, but your daughter brought that up.
So
he didn't put you on blast, Tasha.
He did.
But the thing about it, Pint, they've been together so long that they actually can do that.
They definitely can. I love
because
it.
when it's new, everybody get offended.
Right.
So it's I mean, no food, no fun. But one of my questions is to you, Bread.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever dated outside your race prior to Tasha?
No, I haven't.
So what did you see in her that you didn't see in another white? I'm gonna say instead of Caucasian, I'm gonna say white.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, anyone.
She was all that. She was all that I wasn't. In other sense, even though I was in the streets, but I wanted to get out the streets, but didn't know how to get out the streets, and she gave me that push that I need to get out the streets, because on the two things I was heading, there was the jail or in the grave. And when I was sitting in my cell, I had a long time to think, but I don't know who the detective was to let her come in to talk to me. She told me in my face, she like, you got to decide, me or the streets. I said, if I beat the charge, I'm with you. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm coming home to you.
Wow. So you were already in trouble prior to her, and so you made it a conscious decision, like, okay.
Yes.
Wow. That's so what about you, Tasha? Have you dated outside your race before?
Yes. Ever since I was young. I never really liked the white guys.
Why?
I wasn't attracted to them.
Okay.
And I've always liked dark, like even if it was a white guy, I liked them tan.
Like
yeah, I just liked, I don't know, I guess I like the swag of the black guys.
Tell it. Come on now, Tasha. Come on. I ain't gonna call you Natasha. I'm gonna call you Tasha. Come on now. Come on with it.
I just always like them. And I'm gonna be also honest. I was a whole lot bigger, and in school, being a big white girl, none of the white guys like you. But I know the camera can't see, but I got thighs and a butt, and the white guys don't like thighs and a butt. So I got all the attention from black guys. So that's just where I went to the black, I'm not going to say side, but that's who I got attention from. So that's just who I guess I chose. But I've never really liked white guys. And no offense, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just I was never attracted to them.
Right.
So that's why I've always dated. But I haven't had really, of course, y'all know we've been together since we were 19. He's really been my longest serious relationship.
That was my question. Like, being that y'all got together at such a young age, would y'all consider anything before that really a real relationship? Like the guy that you were dating that he forced you out of the relationship with.
Well, I was with that guy for 3 years, and that type of relationship, he was cheating on me, but I loved him. I guess probably because he was my first and things like that, but I loved him.
Right.
So I was trying to be in a relationship, but it was always between me and another girl. So I don't know why I couldn't leave it. And I understand people's relationships when they're in a relationship and they're doing them wrong. It's because you love and you think that love will change.
And you think it's supposed to hurt. Love don't hurt.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so eventually it was the last time, 'cause I told him the last time he broke up with me, I said, look, there ain't going to be no more.
Right.
And so he did it again. I said, forget it. I'm not going to keep on. But that was 3 years of that. Right. So, and then I found him again.
Well, then you got to look at it like this. Well, I would look at it like this. I was going through that for 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. And then going through that, it prepared me for what you have sitting to your right of you.
Oh yeah, because I wouldn't put up with a lot of his mess that he tried to put up with. And it ain't happening. So it did prepare me, and that's what I tell like even the girls now that I'm raising. Yeah, you may be in a relationship. Don't let a guy do this, this, and this. But even if they do, I was like, well, you know what? You got to learn from it, because I can tell you all I want, but until you learn, there's nothing. You have to be tired of the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we'll get a little bit off of that a little bit. How did you guys' family feel like when you guys got together outside of your race?
You want to go first?
Yeah, Lamont, go first, please.
Well, didn't nobody really questioning it, because out of all of my family members and all of my friends, I was considered the grandma boy. And to my grandma, she would always say, as long as whoever she is, she treats you right, she cool with it. And that's what I gravitated to, because I was trying to pattern a female after my grandma, because she was the solid foundation of the whole family. So whatever she was saying, she was like, as long as she respect you, she don't call you out your name, she out with me and said, all right, grandma. So that's pretty much it with that one,
So nobody really in your family had no problem with her being white?
No.
And what about yours, Tasha?
My family had time to prepare. And what I mean by that, okay, I'm sure y'all could tell by my accent, I'm from Kentucky. Okay. And my parents grew up in Kentucky. And in Kentucky, in the back in the day, you didn't date outside your race.
No.
So whenever I first started dating Black guys, my dad had a real big issue. He didn't understand why I couldn't find a white guy. I even tried to date a white guy, but I was disgusted. And that sounds horrible, but I mean, that's how I felt. But so I was like, I tried it. This is just not what I want. So I ended up, after the person I was with for 3 years, but he also put a bad stigma on a Black guy as far as with a white girl, because a lot of people think that Black guys are with white girls because it's a trophy. That's towards the white families believe that when a Black guy is with a white girl, they consider her a trophy.
Right.
But so my dad was thinking that Black guys just wanted me as a trophy.
So he wanted to use you as a
trophy
to the world, to paint a picture that really wasn't there.
Yes.
So that's how your father was looking at it.
Mm-hmm. So when Terrell came along, he met my dad, and Terrell's really the first guy I really brought to my family because I don't know, he was just different. And my mom saw him, and my mom told my grandparents, and they're like, when I look in his eyes, I can tell that he loves her. And I don't care what color he is, as long as he treats my daughter right, I respect him.
Oh.
So he went to Kentucky and met my grandfather. That's who they're most worried about. But my grandfather loved him. I mean, he loved Terrell. So he's passed now. But at first, it was an issue, not with my mom, but with my dad. Because not only was he worried about the trophy situation, he was worried about what his friends would say. And I ended up crying and talking to him and saying, Dad, that's not fair, because I should be able to love who I love and not worry about what your friends say.
Right.
So, my dad now loves Terrell. My whole family loves Terrell, so it was hard at first.
So about how long did it take for him to go to Kentucky and meet your grandfather for your dad to feel like a little?
No, you think so? Oh, okay. No, my dad liked him before, because my dad actually told my grandfather, hey, Tasha's dating a black guy. We broke a lot to my grandfather at one time, but one of the things was, Tasha dating a black guy. But my grandfather actually said, well, as long as he loves her, I'm good with it. Oh, people were trying to cover it up in the family, but that's not how he looked at it. So I can't say, I mean, when my dad met you, I think y'all had a pretty good conversation. It was after a basketball game, and we went over there. My dad never said anything bad about Terrell. So I think at that time, he just accepted the fact that I was going to be with a black guy. Okay. To be honest, because we already went 3 years with the one guy that he couldn't stand, and now have another guy. So I just think he knew. And it's like, look, I just need to accept it and keep on going.
Yeah, and especially when you had the attitude as to, you let them know, like, you don't see a color. You just you love who you love, and you stood flat foot on that. And that may have been one of the reasons why too, that maybe he have changed his mind or something like that, or looked at it different from how he grew up.
Right. And it is all about how you grow up, because they grew up. But my dad's not prejudiced at all. So I think it's just, you just didn't do it, whenever you were growing up. And a lot of people used it as a sin, what do they use in the Bible? Equally yoked. But color's not what the part they're talking about, equally yoked. No. That got thrown in my face a lot, was like, you need to be equally yoked. And, I was like, well, I don't care, but now I realize what equally yoked means. I was like, that doesn't even go with black and white, but right. people use that.
So did that make you feel really good after your family really accepted? Like, did that just take a whole lot off of you, or before your family accepted, you really didn't care one way or another?
Well, before my family accepted it, I didn't care. I was willing to leave my family.
Oh, to be with him?
Well, it was with the other guy, but I would have left my family to be with who I love. This just sounds, I know it just sounds so bad, but I don't live with you on a daily basis.
Right.
I live with Terrell.
Correct.
So whatever goes along with us is between us, and you can't love me like he loves me.
Right. It's totally different.
Yeah. Right. So if I have to leave, my family and not be with them, then, this is who I love. And either you accept it or you don't, because it's me. So he's me, and either you accept it or you don't.
And did you think your family knew that? That's probably that made them feel like, well, we're going to either accept it or we're not going to have Tasha around.
I'm sure.
And they love you enough to accept that.
Yes. Like I was saying, Terrell was not the issue at first. They had already went through this with my previous boyfriend, because they would tell me, not to be with him. And I was like, look, I'm going to be with him regardless. But I think when they saw Terrell at a different atmosphere, when I mean by atmosphere, he came in differently, the love, because as you got to think about it, we were 14 and he wanted me then. So when he's 19 and he has me, I think he was
matured a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, being that you guys have been together for so long, how many kids do you have between your union?
Wow.
Wow, hold on.
Hold
let me
on.
look at it.
No,
Wait,
because-
Counting your
we
kids.
can
No, because I would count my sister kids too. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
you know, she passed, and you know, we got her kids, and
Oh,
but
wow.
between me and her, we got 3.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
3.
So you have 3
Snap.
together, and then you have how many total with your niece and nephews?
Let me count.
There's 8, baby.
You know, 2 of them locked up, so I can't
Okay. Okay. Then there's 6.
But totally, she have 8. She have 8, but
You got 8. Okay.
we have
Mm.
5.
In the household.
Mm-hmm.
Right
so
now.
it's 5, including your 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. See, what happened was his sister passed away in 2013.
Mhm.
And
Sorry to hear that.
the dad's or the children's father were not in our lives. So we ended up taking, well, before she passed away, her name was Tasha too. Before she passed away, she asked me, you know, Tasha, because we were real close. She said, Tasha, will you and Brad take my kids if something happens to me? Because see, she had breast cancer. And I was like, Tasha, there's nothing going to happen to you. You know, you're going to be good. So it was literally a week after she asked me, she passed away. And I was, people say that we did such a good deed or whatever it is, but to me, it was not a choice. It was something that we had to do. See, I've been with all the kids pretty much, almost
they
all
were
their
born,
lives.
right.
So Aunt Tasha and Uncle Brad were their favorites. So
Not to talk about dude and issue like that, but
you're not supposed to mention names, baby.
I'm sorry. My brother and his wife, we not throwing shots now.
But when she passed, we took them on, and Terrell and I had tried over and over and over to have kids, but I was overweight, and I had a gastric bypass, and there was a lot of reasons why I had a gastric bypass, but a lot was for the kids. And so after I had that gastric bypass, I got pregnant right away. I had to wait a year. So after a year, I got pregnant with LJ, and that was in 2016, and all the way to 2019, we've had 2 more, 2 boys and a girl.
Okay, so you got 2 boys and a girl.
Yes.
And what's their ages now?
5, 4, and 2.
5, 4, and 2. And how old are the other children?
13.
Mm-hmm.
13, 15, 16, 18, 21.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stair steps.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
so y'all children are the little ones.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's good,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So y'all got a little break free. So y'all house not as busy, but it's busy.
It's wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Oh yes.
Because now you have the kids' friends coming over, 13 all the way up to, well, really the 18. Well, she stays by herself, to herself, but got cousins and everybody. Our house is always busy.
It is.
Yes. Kids
So
always want to come stay the
Y'all got
night.
the fun house.
I don't know if it's too much fun.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
You got the games and the
Yes.
Barbies and the cars and the.
And they catch me sleep.
Oh, and they catch you sleep.
They catch me sleep. Yeah, everything goes then. They catch me sleep.
Oh.
So
okay.
now let me ask you this: being that you guys have children, has the relationship changed? Like, far as when you're out in public, do people, I know we're in a different era now than what it used to be, but do people look at you guys differently, or do you feel different from when you
didn't have children?
you didn't have children to now that you have kids?
Consider that, ask that question. My mindset, I really pay that no man because my whole focus is on me and mine. And whatever you got to say, that's on you, because that's how the way you feel. And like now, like in today's society, things are changing. And
Right.
we're not living in the 60s and the 50s no more where, where if a black man get caught with a white woman, they cut his heads off and all that. We not there no more. And how the way you feel about me with a white girl, I mean, that's you and how the way you feel. But that's not gonna change how the way I feel about my wife. Because on my job, not me fun when I say this, but a black woman came to me and said, like, how can you go out your racing and all these young black women out here? I said, first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I respect what you said that, and I'm kind of glad that you told me that, but you gotta fairly realize, my grandma was a black woman. My mother was a black woman. My sister's a black woman, so I always gonna hold the black woman at a higher standard because that's who I came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I love my black sisters, but at the end of the day, my heart choose a white woman.
That's right.
And so at the end of the day, my love fell in love. I fell in love with a white woman, not disrespecting their black female, but at the end of the day, my heart fell in love with a white woman. And that's why I had to tell her, I said, you know what I'm saying, not disrespecting their black woman. At the end of the day, that's who I fell in love with.
Just like she, right? Because just like she don't have no desire at all for a white man. You heartfelt for a white woman, and sometimes you don't choose who you fall in love with. So regardless of what her color was, you fell in love with her, and you really had no control over that. You do know that, right? And she ain't had no control over Clipwell. You won't have no control over it. He won't gonna let you. But so as far as like the kids are concerned, do they ever, being that they see that they go to school, right? Your kids are in school, right? Are they in public school? 2 of them?
They're the 4-year-olds getting ready to start. The 5-year-old was in the 4-year-old program last year. So he's going to start kindergarten.
Okay, good. So they probably haven't gotten to the picky stuff yet. Like, how some, mix,
you're not black or you're not white.
You call them mutts and stuff like that.
No, and I don't know what I'm going to do if that happens.
When that happens, yeah. So are you preparing yourself for that? Do you feel like that might occur one day?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it because I just don't see color. Like when I look at people, I just don't see color. And that's really going to upset me when it comes time for it. Because I'm sure kids will come because they'll say, you're not really black or you're not really white. And I teach my kids now, I'm like, you're white and black. Because I'll ask them, I'm like, well, what color are you? Even though they're real pretty tan, and LG will say I'm white and black. And I'm like, okay, I want to teach them both cultures.
Correct.
We go camping. That's a white thing's a camping thing. But when they get old enough to learn about the black cultures, I'm definitely going to teach them because it's so important. That's where you came from. That's half of you. So I really want to teach them. But going back into society, looking at my children, when Terrell and I first got together, with him being with me the first time, us going out to eat and things like that, people would stare. But I got to the point where I ignore people because, you can feel however you want to feel. And if I let it bother me, it'll ruin the whole mood. And
it'll mess with your relationship. It starts to come into the relationship.
Yes. So I think when we got together, we had to he'll say, what did you say? We got
fans.
We got fans, and that was just our cue that somebody was watching us. He'd be like, we got fans. And when it comes to my kids, everybody sees me out with the kids and they'll say, oh, they're just beautiful, and that got me thinking, because when they do get to school, kids are mean. What are they going to do to them and say, you're not black or you're not white? I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe we need to come back in a couple years and we can talk about that.
Eli gonna fight.
That's right.
Eli's gonna fight.
Eli gonna fight.
And I think,
and so are y'all going to punish them for fighting if they're fighting for that?
No.
Nope.
You're not?
Nope.
Because you got to stick up for yourself.
The kid head right off.
I'm not gonna per se let them do that. But I'm always like, I tell my sister kids, you know what I'm saying? Don't go out and start nothing, but defend yourself.
Correct.
Defend yourself. You got the right to do that. Defend yourself.
Right, but if they're picking and Eli fight, then you still not gonna punish Eli because they was just talking with their mouth, and then Eli hit them because Eli gonna get suspended.
Eli's gonna get suspended.
Well, the first time I'm gonna talk to him, man, because he don't know the right from wrong yet for people picking on him. But once he get older, then all right, hold on, now you
got to learn to suck it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess it would be whenever he got to a certain age. But even if he went to school now and someone picks on him and talks about it, the first time we just talk to him and say, hey, look, people are going to do this. You can't keep on hitting someone, just ignore them or something like that.
And it's hard for a child. It's hard for a child to ignore something like that because it's like they picked on me, and it's hard. So
or they'll be like, that's why your mom was white or something like that. I don't know how.
Right, and that's why I said they're gonna see you. We got PTA, we got different meetings that they're gonna see you and might not see Bread, or they might see Bread and not see you. And kids look and they take stuff and run with it and do certain things. So that's why that question was.
But I think to piggyback off of what Pint said, to go a little in with it, I think the first lesson that they are taught when they actually see how you guys move. So
true,
they know how confident you guys are because kids are very smart. They understand that my mom looks a little different than my dad. So, and they see how confident you are in your relationship. So I don't think it'll be as hard, but that conversation does have to be had because you're preparing them for the world, even though, you want to shelter them and how kids can be, and adults, can be crucial too. But you have to have that conversation with them. And I personally think that it may not be age. It may be the child, the maturity of the child. Because you may have, like you have 3, your 3-year-old may be more mature than and be able to understand than your 5-year-old. So you guys definitely have something ahead of you. I don't foresee you guys not being able to tackle it though.
No, we can tackle anything, right, baby?
And Brad look like he ready.
We've been through worse. We've been through worse. We've been through worse. So yeah.
So since y'all been together, is it some things that you like that our Black culture do better than the white family?
Party.
You like? Oh, hold on. I'm asking her that.
I'm sorry.
So I'm asking Tasha.
You asking Tasha?
Yeah, I'm asking Tasha. So what? Yeah.
I think it's amazing when you have cookouts. There's all this meat, and even because I've talked to my friends and they're like, "Well, I'm cooking this, and this." I'm like, "What? That's too many meats," Because at a Black cookout, you just have hamburgers, hot dogs, no chicken, and all that stuff. So. And even whenever you cook, like we cook spaghetti, you don't have fried chicken with spaghetti because that's 2 meats because you got your hamburger meat and your chicken.
What?
So you know this.
I know this, yeah.
So that, I think food wise, it's a whole lot better. And then also I like the Black churches better than the white churches.
You do. And I was gonna ask you that too. Like, do you like because y'all belong to
Rising St. James.
Correct. And that is what's y'all what's y'all religion?
Pentecostal. It's based like off the Pentecostal faith.
Okay.
And see, in Kentucky where I'm from, the Black churches is like what the churches are there. So I was always looking for that. So when I met him, I actually went over to Mount Joy and that's where we got married and everything. But I went there where it was Bishop Wiggins at the time, and I fell in love, and because that's what I was looking for. So the churches and like the cookouts and stuff, we still try to get on the time frame because white people have their cookouts at 1:00 and Black people have their cookouts at 6.
Too hot.
And it's too hot. I'm like, look, by the time you get everything out, it's time to put it up because it's
getting dark.
Yeah. So when we have birthday parties for the kids and stuff, we kind of fuss about the time frames because
you try to do it.
I want to go ahead and get it over with, and he wants to wait till the sun goes down. So,
because they say Black people throw heat. Do you believe that? Now that you with?
I don't know. When he sleeps, he throws off heat. I don't even sleep next to him.
There you go.
So now, Brad, you answer. So hers is cookouts and churches. What's yours as far as the white family? What do you like better about them than the Black family?
When they get drunk, oh my God. I'm saying it's just a whole nother different atmosphere. going to social with the black culture, man. You know, you got to worry about somebody looking at you wrong, and you beefing with this person here, and then you got to watch him while you watch him, he watching you. So 9 out of 10 will be a fight or a shooting at the end of that. But at a white person party, they don't got time for all that. They ready to get drunk and dance.
They ready to party like rock stars.
Man, I mean, they're dying, laughing. I was like, oh my God. Because her father, when he get drunk, I promise you, man, none of his bottom part move, but this up part that's moving. I'm like, man, what is wrong with your daddy? I be in there dying laughing, man, because they have fun.
Right.
You know, so they don't have time for the drama and fuss and all that. They want to have fun. And that's what it's all about, man. That's having fun. Life's too short to be bickering. I'm mad at you. I'm arguing with you. No, man, have fun. And that's what they do, man. And that's why I just sit back and laugh, and I'm like, man, they are having fun.
Yeah. So do y'all agree on all, like, y'all cook? So do you cook too, Brett?
Yes.
And you cook. So do you agree on how she cooked things the whole time y'all been together? Or do you feel like they was taught the season or their food different? How did that go?
No, well, actually, man, you know, she cooked Southern.
Oh, she cooked
Yeah,
Southern?
her mom cooked Southern. And that was like, I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Because I love her mom's ribs. Oh my God. I said, I don't care what it is. She can cook ribs all year long. I'm right there in your ribs. It was to the point, man, I almost bit my finger because I thought it was a rib.
God. But also with cooking, like cabbage, you know, we don't put sugar in everything. So I had to learn how to cook the way he eats.
Okay.
So I talked to his mom a lot, and I was like, well, how do you make homemade macaroni and cheese? Because we didn't make that stuff. You know, growing up, my mom, we had to box macaroni and cheese.
Right, the deluxe, right.
Yeah, so we had to box macaroni and cheese. Cabbage, we don't put sugar in. Well, I eat sugar in mine because I never really liked cabbage. Spaghetti, like red sauces and stuff, you don't put sugar in the white culture. But
Well, in spaghetti, y'all don't put sugar in.
Oh, I do now, and it tastes a whole lot better. Yeah.
Right.
So I had to learn. I had to learn how to cook like he likes to eat.
Like he like to eat. Right.
Because if I don't feed him, somebody else will,
Mm-hmm.
and that ain't happening.
And that's
smart.
The way to a man's
smart.
heart.
That's right. Yes.
And you didn't kept him this long, so
That's
you
right.
know. You know a way to his. That ain't that's the shadow of doubt. So y'all got the cooking down pat. You got the cooking down pat.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Okay, so why do y'all feel like like interracial couples fail? You, Tasha, go for this.
Some of it can be how you're raised, but if you can't conform to each other's culture, like if I went to a cookout for him and I never wanted to have fun, get up and dance or anything like that, then you have to be able to go both ways, you know, and enjoy each other's cultures. Because if you don't, then you can't. Yeah, there's tension, but also probably people. Because if you keep hearing what people say and don't care what you say, like if parents or somebody was like, you shouldn't be with him, he's black, she's white, you know, or vice versa, a black girl with a white guy. If you can't ignore people, then to be in an interracial couple, you can't be together. Just like the black girl that came to him at work. If he wasn't strong, it could have affected us.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I've had, you have looks from the different races, like when you're walking, like, you know, I'm sure people, well, why is he with her? You know, looking, but I have to ignore it, because if I don't ignore it, and that will affect us. You know, I know he's with me, and I'm with him. So that's you just have to ignore people. So a lot of it is what people say.
Right.
And I feel like if you can't conform to each other's or be open to each other's cultures, it'll fail.
What about you, Brad? What do you feel about it?
It's all boiled down to trust. You know, let's say, for instance, when I'm at work and a black girl came to me. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, like I always hold the sister to a higher standard because of my parents and my grandparents. So I'm always got love for my sisters. But like I say, in the day, trust, man. Like I always tell her, man, my past is my past. You know, and we all got past. So
That's right.
if you hear about my past, that's it. It's my past. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't look back. I'm thinking about right now. So what it boils down to is all about trust and communication. You know what I'm saying? Tell me how you feel. Because I can't read your mind. You know what I'm saying? You can't read mine. So I think like 2 months ago, we went out and we sat down and we shared our differences, how the way she felt about me, how the way I feel about her. And she let me, I ain't going in detail now, but she let me know how the way she was feeling. And I didn't know. So the things I was feeling, that she didn't know. So open. Gotta be open.
But I think that's with any relationship, you have to communicate.
That's right.
And you have to be willing to communicate. And whether if the person tells you how they feel and it hurts your feelings, you still have to like suck it up, because that was a deep conversation we actually had. And some of the things he said hurt my feelings, but I'm like, okay, well, this is how he feels. So I have to figure out where I'm going wrong because he feels this way. You know, we've been together for a long time. So in our day-to-day life, sometimes we can change up things and a person doesn't like it, but he won't say nothing to you to cause like an argument, but it's really bothering him. And the same with us. So we communicated, and I don't know, it was just a great weekend because we were able to get a lot of stuff off our chest. And
so it was basically a much needed weekend.
Yes.
Much needed weekend. Everybody got a chance to express how they feel.
Yes.
And to piggyback off what you just said, Tasha, even though he may have said some things to hurt your feelings, those things still need to be said.
Yes.
And a lot of times, you know, we feel the way that we feel, but in the long run, it may, well, as we're seeing now, 2 months later, that it is helping your relationship.
Yes.
Because you're seeing things from his point of view.
Yes.
But I have a question, and I don't want you guys to feel any type of way, but you know, here on Wait Again Minute, we are unapologetic and unfiltered. And I know when we all get in the heat of the moment, we're like, end this, be that. Have you guys ever crossed that boundary where, you know, you called each other outside of your name?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
So you never call her a honky, or she's never
No. but I'm glad you said that though, because I always joke with her grandma about that. I said, I was her grandma, you know, I said, her name Judy. I said, Miss Judy. I said, don't you know your grandmother called me a cookie? She was like, oh no, she didn't. So yeah, man, she called me cookie, but we be joking. But you know what I'm saying? So far as her calling me out my name, I haven't heard her say it. But I'm quite sure she said something up on her breath. But
No, because I feel like the N word is disrespectful and the B word is disrespectful. I don't feel like he should ever call me a B. That's just disrespectful. And I tell everybody, like all my girls, don't ever let any boy call you out of your name. And he has never called me out of my name. Like when we argue, I'm not going to say, people don't know we argue because we don't let the public. Right. Like if we were out, like even the kids, like even if we argue and it gets so heated, one of us will just clam up, but we'll talk about it in the room, because I just feel like in a relationship, it's not everybody's business that you have an argument. And the kids tell us all the time we argue over dumb stuff, but at the time it ain't dumb to us. But the communication, I forget where I was going with this. What was the question?
About, you know,
about the N word.
The N word. Like, I never use that word because I just feel like it's so disrespectful, because the N word, it really means an ignorant person. It doesn't mean a black person. Because when I was small, I had to pull that out one time in Kentucky over the summer to my uncle. But, you know, it's just so disrespectful. And calling a woman a B. Now, if it's two girls talking, that's something different.
That's something right.
But when a guy calls a girl that's just so disrespectful. And that's not a healthy relationship. If you're constantly cussing each other, calling each other this and this, it's really not that healthy. I'm going to be honest.
But you know, some guys like girls toxic.
Well, not me.
Sure do. Sure do.
So y'all wouldn't consider y'all have toxic moments, right? But you don't have a toxic marriage.
I can see.
Boy.
Yeah, because you did say you made her eat the cake.
Anime.
And I keep telling him it's not Ike and Tina, it's Tina and Ike. So
You want the shoe?
okay.
Oh, okay.
You know you want the shoe?
Uh-huh.
I give you the shoe now.
All right. But no, he's never put his hands on me because I've always told him, you know, we've been together for a long time. You put your hands on me, it's gonna be the last time you put your hands on me. Because you know, I can't fight him.
Right.
No woman
You
can
can
really
fight him, but you can't beat him.
Yeah.
That's right. I can't fight him, but
Right.
I'm never gonna beat him.
Right.
And so I've always said, never put your hands on me because it'll be the last time. Because and I remember one time when we were young, I was so mad at him because he had did something that was very wrong. Not cheating or anything, but I don't want to but I had to sit on my hands because I thought I was going to hit him. Because I feel like too, a woman, if you are woman enough to hit a man, you should be woman enough to take what a man's going to give you back.
Okay.
So that's just how I feel. But
Well, I should have learned how to sit on my hands.
Right, that's definitely a white woman thing. We would hold off and we're off.
I don't know how to sit on my hands. So yeah, I'm glad you taught me that.
yeah, I had to sit on my hands because I just don't. I don't believe in hitting in a relationship.
That's right. That's right. Because you shouldn't want to hurt them. You shouldn't want to hit them and hurt them, or because just like you said, if you take a hit, you should want to use your man receiving one.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I know somebody don't believe that.
It's a lot of people out here that's like that don't believe that.
So with all the things that's going on in the world as far as like Black Lives Matters and stuff like that, how do you feel about that, being that you're married to a Black guy? And
I do believe, I feel, to be real honest, I feel like I'm in the middle.
mm-hmm.
And it's what happens is very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it because everybody looks at white people as being bad. And that's not how I am, you know. So when Black Lives Matter, you know, Black lives do matter. I have a Black husband. I have Black children. You know, they do matter. I get terrified. You know, people talking about my nephews that I'm raising. You know, I'm talking to them. You know, look, don't run from the police. You know, if they pick you up wrong, you know, let us handle it through the system. You know, don't fight because I don't want them killed.
That's right.
So it does matter. But with me being white, when the racism happens, we never really talk about it in the house. And I don't know why. I guess because I think he knows, you know, that I'm not racist. But it does bother me that things happen to the Black culture, you know, with the killings and stuff that's unnecessary, you know, especially with the cops and stuff. So a lot of the stuff that has happened has been very wrong. And I want justice just like y'all do, because that's a human. It's not color, it's a human.
Right.
So that's how I feel with like the Black Lives Matter and when situations happen like that.
Okay.
Brad, how do you feel about it, being that you are excuse me, you are a Black male, and you know, say for instance, well, not for instance, say you know, you read the paper and you see of not even a cop, just a white man taking a Black man's life, and then you're heated and you're frustrated, but yet you're laying beside a woman of another race. How does that, in your mind, if you could tell me, how would you think if you're laying there and you read the paper and something that just happened and you're frustrated, you're heated, but yet you're laying beside someone of the same color who took somebody else's life?
You know, anger is gonna always be there, and the frustration is gonna always be there for the simple fact because it's a Black man, and how traumatizing that is to see that. Because I had a conversation with a white guy. I said, "You will never understand the feeling when you see your nephew or see one of your kids going out the door, not knowing that they're gonna make it back home the same day. I like you will never get understand the feeling when you walk past a car and a white woman or a black, whoever it is, lock their door. I said you will never get that feeling. So to understand the Black Lives Matter movement, you won't understand it because you don't have that same feeling, or you don't go through that same feeling because you don't get looked at like you dirty. You don't get looked at like you gonna rob them. I tell people every day, man, I work for mine. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to rob nobody. I don't have to steal from nobody because I get up every morning and go to work and handle my business. I take care of my kids and I take care of my main duties. So to see that type of thing goes on, yes, it bothers me. But I don't let that come to my household because I know where she stands at. That's how long we've been together. So when she thinks, I already know what she's thinking and she know what I'm thinking, but do we ever talk about it? No, because she know at the time when I see it, I'm angry. So she give me enough time to calm down and get over it because it's senseless. Because to see a young black man get gunned down like that, even though I heard the people say you need to listen to the law and obey the law and all that, but at the same time, when anger is involved, you need somebody there that's level-headed,
right,
to smooth out the whole thing. But he's mad because he's not listening to him, and I'm mad because he's not listening to me. Ain't nothing but one big conflict. So to be laying beside my wife, I don't let that come interfere with my relationship.
We usually have conversations like if something's on the news, maybe a couple of days after, I guess, so that we all could process what just happened.
Right.
I don't know if we really talk to the kids about it because the kids nowadays just don't care. They don't care what goes on. I'm gonna be honest with you.
They be stuck in YouTube.
Yeah. So
TikTok.
to talk about what's going on, like even like when Martin Luther King Day comes or anything, I'm like, y'all know what today is? And they're like, no, what is it? I'm like, well, this part of your heritage and stuff like that. So kids just don't care. So I don't think we ever discuss it really with the kids too much. But Black Lives Matter went on a lot in our house. Everybody got shirts and stuff. So I think they were a little bit in it. When it was going on, because it's died down a lot now.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely the only white person in the house. So I tried to keep the Black culture alive in the house because that's who I'm raising.
So the music and stuff like that is.
Oh yeah, I don't like country. It's definitely
so it's hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever felt comfortable in like any other churches that they look at you funny, or have you ever had a situation in any Black churches that you've been to and felt like no, I don't want to go back there because they looking at me like I don't belong in the church?
I don't really think, I don't even know. So, I definitely get looked at. That's for sure. But if I'm with him, I'm good. If I was to go by myself, I would feel probably awkward.
Right.
If I wasn't with somebody, visiting. I can go to my church now, but it's because everybody knows me.
Right.
The thing is to get to know me, you'll know that I'm down to earth. I'm not stuck up. Right. But I get a little nervous. I'm not the type of person to go out and just talk to you, just, hey, how you, I'll speak, but it's not like I'm just going to carry on a conversation because I'm a shy person.
Right.
I can't tell tonight.
I know. I'm not as nervous anymore.
No, you done loosened up a lot since you came in the door because you was red. Like you was so nervous. We had to...
But I'll tell you what bothers me is when it's Black History Month. And I'll tell you why it bothers me is because like I sing sometimes in the choir, and especially the previous churches I've been at, when it's Black History, they want to dress up like in the African attire. Well, I'm not African. So I feel like I always sit down those weeks.
So you don't want anybody to feel like you're trying to play a role.
I'm trying to play a role that I'm not.
You're trying to mock. You're okay.
Yes. So I will not dress in the African attire because that's not my culture.
Right.
And I support y'all's culture all, everything. Some of them outfits are nice, but
Mhm.
I just can't wear them.
Right.
And some people don't understand that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, but that's just not me.
Right.
So when it comes to Black history, yes, I feel sometimes awkward. And then like when you're up, sometimes like with the kids are giving speeches of like what happened and things like that. I feel awkward because I feel like everybody's looking at me because I'm white. Was it your grandfather who had, so I feel awkward. Those moments I feel awkward, but on a regular basis, I don't feel awkward.
Okay.
Tasha, let me ask you a question. Being
Yes.
that you are a white woman, have you ever been in the presence of, say if you and your husband were out to eat and you felt inadequate because a group of African American females come up and they're trying to hit on your husband? Have you ever felt like you wasn't enough for him? Not laughing, Brad.
I mean, he just be coming out with the laughs.
I think because he knows I can go from 0 to 100.
Quick.
Like, don't disrespect me.
Okay.
That's my husband, and I'm with him, and that's my thing. Don't disrespect me in that situation. But I will tell you, I have been insecure a whole lot because you have Black women can be very beautiful, and then you have the hips and the butts, and like, why did you choose me when you could have had that?
You look curvy too now.
I'm trying to tell her that, man.
Ain't nothing about you that's a little
I've been telling her.
curvaceous.
But that's sometimes, I guess I can feel intimidated whenever we're out and I see him. Everybody looks, but I see him look at a girl, and I'm like, well, what does she have that I don't have?
Right.
To be real honest. I remember that time we were at that club and I got onto you. So I do get insecure a lot when it comes to Black women versus white women. If a white woman walked in, I don't worry as much as I do as a Black woman.
Well, because hold on now. Because some white women have a lot better shapes than, they're more fit. They look, their stomachs.
But that's not.
flat,
But that's not what
nice
he. But
butt
that's
too.
not him. He likes hips and butt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's
so
not
in
him.
but in his defense, though, Tasha, even though he's a man that like hips and butts, doesn't mean that he like every woman with hips and butts.
You're right.
And just because he's looking, I mean, he does have 2 eyes, so you
Yes.
allow him. Okay, if he's looking, then he'd be like, okay, yeah, she is cute. Okay, but come on, and let's move on. You just redirect them. And I feel you when you're saying sometimes you feel you feel intimidated or have that lack of self-confidence. I think we all have that.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that's because you're white. I don't know, but I have enjoyed you guys thus far. Like we're like 2 minutes in before we're about to end.
Oh wow, this went quickly.
And just to sit here and just like Pint just said, how you were beat red when you came in earlier, but you were so nervous. But I think you guys did a good job.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Both of you guys were very transparent, and it'll show our viewers and listeners that it doesn't, like Brett said, times have changed. If you love somebody, you love them for who they are. And obviously he looked past your color and he just saw, whether it was physical or not, he saw what he wanted. Right. And he, and he went after it and he was persistent. But like, so what you think you learned from it tonight?
Sit on her hands.
That's how I say. First of all, I'm just gonna learn how to sit on my hands. But as far as like interracial, I learned that basically, it's really not the color of y'all skin that y'all looking at. It's more so the fact that we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't see color. Y'all just see family and the world ahead of y'all. So that's what I learned from it, and I think y'all look good together.
Thank you.
I really do. And that's all I've seen. Since I've seen Lamont, since school. I think I went to school.
Yes.
I went to school. We went to school together.
Yeah.
So that's all I've ever seen was y'all. I never seen him with nobody else. So when I see y'all now, I don't see color either. So when I realized that y'all was coming on, I'm like, I thought it was gonna be somebody different, like, you know, a white and a black couple. I really don't look at y'all like a white and a black couple. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just me, like I said, but I don't see her like that. And then also my brother, he's married to a white woman too.
Mm.
So and our family don't judge, you know, her, or we've never not accepted him deciding to. And he's been in a situation where you've been in, or Dan said, why you don't want, or you know, a black woman. That's not what I want. It's something that I seen in her. I fell in love with her, and that's who I decided to marry and have my kids and stuff with. So,
and then, like Pint said, that you guys do complement each other very well.
you do.
So
Thank
that
you.
you know,
I try to.
y'all look good, and like I said, we have enjoyed you guys.
We really have.
Thanks for having us.
We want you guys to come back
Whenever.
after you guys have had that conversation years later with the kids, just to update to see how that actually went, because I'm sure it's going to be
Interesting.
very interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
But we're going to wrap it on up. Like I said, we enjoyed you guys. Anytime you guys want to stop by.
And we are 2 days down for the
2 days.
big
Y'all turn up,
That's
man.
flat tie.
Pint.
Is that what we
Turn
at?
up, man.
2 days down.
One day in the wake up, right?
That's what it is.
One day in the wake up.
We just hope that
say it that way.
everybody have their correct
that?
attire. Again, formal attire. It's a little too late for it now.
Yeah,
So,
we ain't got it now, baby. I don't
You
know.
got
what
it
to
now.
tell you.
Yeah, I don't know what.
But we're gonna get on out of here. But you can catch us Thursdays, 7:00 p.m. on YouTube. Huh?
Apple Podcast.
No, YouTube, Facebook. You can catch us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the MP3 outlets you can catch Wait Again a Minute as far as MP3. I mean, we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Y'all turn up, man.
Good night.
Good night.